Welcome to the Implied Project. I'm Tony Martinez, and my lovely co-host Jamie Gaynor. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
And of course, we're excited to have Dan Roerick. Did I pronounce that right? I forgot to ask you before.
You did. Very good job. You're one of the few that gets it the first try.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and Merry Christmas to you too.
You as well.
So we were talking beforehand. You're a North Dakota man.
I am.
Yeah. So, tell us about the glamorous life in North Dakota.
Well, we're in the process of getting 6 to 12 inches of snow as we speak.
That's right. You guys got a storm coming.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what I wake up to in the morning and how long that'll take me to clean up and dig out from. And for the most part, photography for me kind of goes into a little mini hiatus every winter. I've tried to do a number of things in the winter times, and it just Mother Nature always gets in the way. So now I don't even try anymore. It's too much of a pain.
It's definitely a trick, especially on snow, I'm sure.
Yep.
And I got to tease you a little bit because we're watching he's recording it. I'm watching the
we're not talking about this
Buffalo's game. Yeah, Colorado. I'm not saying nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. But just letting you know, he and I both have a vested interest in it. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, so I'd like to start with Dan. First of all, you actually you had told me in your bio when you emailed that that you had not really planned to get into the glamour modeling photography stuff, and I can empathize with you because I used to go to a lot of car shows. Well, because I as an event promoter, I'd be involved with a lot of them, so I know exactly the kind of scenario you were describing. He basically was an import car fan.
What car fan in general?
Yeah, tell us how you got into it.
Well, I mean, I had always had an interest in photography. I got my first digital SLR, I don't know, early 2000s sometime. And mainly was just using it to do whatever I felt like for the most part, no real focus or anything like that. But it was my love of cars that took me to a local car show here in town where they had a few different import models that they had brought in from California. Then I don't know, half a dozen local girls as well. And they were all just, kind of roaming around, modeling with the vehicles. And I had taken my camera along and my speed light and looked like I knew what I was doing. And by the end of the evening, a few of the models that were there that I had taken pictures of, not that I had any intent of doing that, stopped me and they're like, do you work with models, on a TF basis? And I honestly had to go grab my phone and Google what they were talking about because I had no clue. And that car show and some of those girls that I had shot, they were interested in getting some copies of the photos I'd taken, and one thing led to another, and I did my first couple of TF shoots that following month, and that's kind of where it all started, and it just kind of snowballed from there. The ability to really collaborate and do something creative. Everything I was shooting into that point was very static, whether it was landscapes or automotive stuff. All that subject matter was very static, and there wasn't a whole lot of collaboration, creativity, that sort of thing, interaction. And the model stuff was so much different, and I really just kind of gleamed onto it, and it kind of took off from there.
Wow. Yeah, the reason I can empathize with you is because, like I said, I can totally envision those ever-present import models at the car shows following you around because that's what they do. They want those pictures. That's definitely true.
I worked a couple of those.
You know what it's all about.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, yeah. So when people ask me about where I started and how I got into the modeling, glamour photography, boudoir stuff, it honestly happened on accident.
Right. Well, obviously you had some natural talent from the start, so.
Yeah, it was one of those undiscovered talents, and then you really got into it, and then I got to be. I mean, I like to consider myself pretty good,
Mhm.
yeah, and now it's 11 years later, and here we are.
Right. Real quickly on a little technical thing, is there somebody like clicking away at something?
Yeah, I'm hearing it too. I don't know where
I'm
it's coming.
hearing it too.
Yeah, I think it's probably just an audio thing. Anyway, for those of y'all that are watching, if you'd like to have any ask any questions of Dan while we're on the show, then feel free to post it in the comments, and we'll swing you up here onto the screen. Let me. I'm gonna try something real quick.
I muted really quick and it didn't go away.
Yeah, no. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's right back.
No, it's when we're making noise, when we're talking. I didn't hear it there. How about now?
I muted my mic. Okay, all right. I'm gonna mute yours, Jamie.
Okay.
And unmute me and okay, I think it's gone. I think it's your mic, Jamie. Yeah.
I was still hearing it on my end when you were talking, but if it's my mic, then maybe that's why I'm hearing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll fix it in editing later. So, but in the meantime, again, if you have any questions for Dan, feel free to go ahead and chime in the comments box. So, where exactly are you in North Dakota?
I'm in Fargo.
In Fargo, okay.
Yep.
Famous Fargo.
Yeah.
How difficult is it? Because obviously it's a little bit. Fargo is obviously a lot different from LA or Chicago or beaches of Miami, whatever. How do you go about connecting with models there? I mean, I'm assuming there's not a real big market there.
No, I mean, when I first started shooting, I would say a core group of local girls. There's probably 15 to 20 of them I would shoot with on a consistent basis. And that lasted a few years, but as they all kind of got through school, a lot of them got married, a lot of them started families, became mothers, and they all kind of basically retired. And I never really had any backfill. I would say I haven't actually shot anybody local in well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe one local model, whatever. Maybe one a year for the last few years. And outside of that, it's all been either me traveling or through social media and various other things. The quality of my work has got to the point now where models are willing to travel to me, and so I host models here. I would say 6-8 times a month or a year. And then and travel in between there as well.
Right. Yeah, I think Jamie just logged out, and do you hear that sound any longer?
Nope.
It's definitely coming from her end. Anyway, yeah, because I was going to ask you, because I noticed on your the work that you post on your Instagram that it's obvious that you're dealing with some traveling models, because I know, for example, Anna Faye.
Yep.
She's in Oklahoma.
She visited me here the first weekend of October.
Right.
Second weekend of October.
Yeah, that's great. Do you do any of this in terms of a professional basis? Because obviously, I would assume you stand out as a glamour photographer in your area. I mean, anywhere, of course, but Fargo is obviously a smaller market.
Yeah, it's pretty small. I mean, I've worked for a number of different clothing companies over the years. I've done some calendars for some of the rock radio stations and that sort of thing here in town, as well as in Minneapolis. A variety of different calendar projects in general. And then I do a decent amount of private boudoir client shoots every year as well.
Right.
Whether that's to significant other wants to do something special for Valentine's Day or whatever, bridal boudoir a few times here and there. I wouldn't say a lot. It's a lot of word of mouth.
Right.
As far as that goes. But it keeps me busy enough. It keeps me
Right.
busy enough.
Right. Yeah, Jamie, you're back and it sounds fine now.
Okay, good. I put the headphones, little earbuds in too, so I was,
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
who knows?
Yeah. But
All right.
problem solved. So going back into your day job, because you said you're a tech guy, basically.
Yep. I worked for a technology company here that's headquartered here in West Fargo, 16-ish years now. A couple of different roles within that company, but my current role is as a sales engineer.
And you've been doing that for how long?
This particular position I've been in for coming up on 4 years, but I've been with the company for almost over 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like you said, you started out with cars and landscapes and stuff like that. What kind of difference? There's obviously a stark difference, but do you still enjoy that kind of artwork, or are you more now into obviously more of the glamour stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I do anything landscape related in any shape, way, or form now. And the quality of my work and the quality of my equipment has changed tremendously over the years too. You know, when I was doing that stuff in the beginning, it was, you know, consumer grade type equipment. Where today it's, you know, you're upper echelon equipment wise. But you know, if I don't really shoot for fun. If I'm shooting for fun, it's usually, you know, personal type project, artwork related, or you know, the super fun stuff for me is anything that's car related. Kind of where my passion is at, whether that's with a model or without. You know, I certainly do some automotive stuff that doesn't have models in it, but I don't really put a lot of that out there. You know, the model stuff and the glamour stuff is really that's what gets all the engagement, you know.
Yeah. Well, what kind of stuff? What kind of equipment do you shoot with?
I'm a Canon guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Canon 5D Mark IV.
All right. Any go-to lens that you go with?
So I got a 7200 2.8 version 2, and then a 2470. I would say I'm more of a long lens guy. I would say 80% of my shots are with the 7200. The 2470 is really only when I don't have the room to shoot with the 7200.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And what type of cars do you gravitate to?
Well, I mean, anything really. You know, it's limited here in North Dakota as far as, you know, a Corvette here is considered exotic.
Right.
But you know, you get down to Minneapolis and there's a decent exotic car presence down there. But I mean, I've got an old. I mean, if you look at my Instagram, I have 2 cars myself, summer cars that I shoot with on occasion. I've got a black 2010 Challenger RT, and then I have my high school dream car. I have an '88 IROC Z T-top.
Oh wow!
As well. So
yeah.
They're both fun, but yeah, I mean, I use those a little bit. My brother's got a car; I've used that a couple times. Just you know, car club guys that are around town, and then I did a shoot a couple years ago with a crew in Minneapolis, and met a bunch of exotic car owners down there, and done some shoots with their vehicles quite a few times now in the last couple of years as well. It was a good group of guys to get involved with. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a special camaraderie with the car guys.
It is.
I have like so little insight on this. I don't even have questions to ask. I think I worked 2, maybe 3 car shows way back when. And one year, a friend of mine, I wish she were listening right now, we got hired to work. It was like in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, a state college-ish area. And we got DJ Scribble was DJing and emceeing the whole thing. And I don't even remember how the hell it went. We got paid to like dance on stage as like go go-go dancers for DJ Scribble. And that was but I mean, you stand by cars and take pictures. Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, that's what that's what the events are all about. Yeah.
I liked it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
I want to throw this up onto the screen. This must be your IROC.
Oh boy. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's Katie. And that's actually in my driveway at my house at about noon on a Saturday in October, and it was 50 degrees outside the day we shot that.
That's nice.
And so the car was running through the whole shoot, and she was either leaning against it or laying on the hood for the whole shoot so she could stay warm.
Yep. Good for her.
Yep.
I like it.
Yes. This must be another one here, right?
That's
here.
Another one, yep. And I was actually standing on the roof of the garage for that one.
Nice. Yeah, it's a nice looking car.
It's in really good shape for its age. 90,000 miles. I didn't really have any intention of it, but it kind of happened on a whim. I had a search, with notifications set up that if something pops on, for sale, and it popped up for sale, and the price was, the guy just needed to get rid of it, and right place, right time, and I was the first one to contact him, and from the time that I got the notification to the time I had the keys was 4 hours.
Wow. So
now, are you a natural light guy in terms of your shooting, or do you like?
I do both. My goal in the beginning was to be able to do everything from a lighting perspective, as well as anything else, so that no matter what kind of conditions you're presented with, you could always achieve something. So you'll see a mix of natural light and strobe shots and hard light shots too. In the beginning, it was always, one of my earliest mentors was always go find shade, go find shade, go find shade if you want to shoot outside. And I learned over the years that it was a Texas-based photographer that I had seen that was doing a lot of hard light related shots, direct sun. It didn't matter what time of day, and he was really good at it. And I reached out to him, and we did a little tutoring, mentoring type session via Skype like this. And he gave me some pointers, and I started practicing it. And it was my goal to get, better and good at that. And now I actually prefer the hard light stuff to the more soft natural light.
Right.
It gleans a different look. It's really good for black and white conversions, and I really like black and white stuff. So
yeah. What's the I mean, if you don't mind sharing, what's like the best tip that he shared with you that you use now in terms of whenever you're shooting in a hard light situation?
For the most part, it wasn't so much the shooting side of it. I don't really shoot anything hard light wise different than I would anything else, to be honest with you. It's really all the raw processing side of it. When you take it through it, Camera Raw or Capture One or whatever you're using, it was that stuff that he taught me that was really valuable.
Gotcha.
And that's my other car.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, that's a nice looking car, and she doesn't look bad either.
And that's actually funny enough. That's the same model. That's Katie again. Different trip. Katie's actually been to Fargo 4 times. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, just noticed there was more shots on here. Yeah, but you got like a wide variety. Oh wow, I love Anna Faye.
That's not Anna Faye.
Oh, that's not. Oh no, that's
Wait, is that?
Yeah,
is that her twin? Okay,
that's Ainsley.
That's Ainsley. Yeah,
the twin. I always get them mixed up sometimes. Like in this shot. Love that one.
Yeah, actually, back up. That funny. If you want a funny story about that shot.
This one?
No, the previous one with Ainsley. So we're in a industrial, like a steel mill, like steel. It's it's open. It's not gated. It's not fenced. So you can drive in throughout there. But it's a local steel company, and they store a bunch of steel in their yard. It was on a Saturday morning, but directly across the street from that location is the police station in town.
Oh, really?
Perfect.
You gotta love that. Nice.
Now that you're scrolling through it, it looks like I do a lot. Like I only do automotive, which isn't true. It's just you just found a stretch there that I posted a lot, obviously.
Yeah. Well, what I liked is, like I said, these are all different lighting situations too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so that's more of a natural light, overcast, clouded day. That's obviously hard light. That one I actually strobed. Overcast again. And that was just natural light. That was actually in Minneapolis at a hangar. So they had the big hangar doors open, and that's just natural light flooding in through into the hangar. That was actually in Vegas.
Wait, is that Katie? Is it like Katie Baby? Is that her name?
That is, yep.
Yes. Okay. I knew I recognized her. I was trying to zoom in and look. Okay.
Yep. She's from Chicago, or lives in Chicago now. She's originally from Wisconsin.
Stunning. Knew I recognized some faces in there.
Now, where's this one at?
That's on the beaches in Florida.
Wait, is that Victoria?
That's Victoria Lace. Yep.
I like seeing all these faces.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's stunning.
That was probably 2016, I'm thinking. 2016,
Wow.
2017.
Now, you mentioned the one shot where you guys were across from the police station. What are some other ones, as I'm scrolling here, that have like a little interesting story behind it? This must be J Baby.
Nope, that's Jara. Oh yeah, J Baby. Yeah. That's Jara. Yep. I just met her for the first time back in June, and then she came to visit me in August. She was here in August.
She's one of my I haven't had a chance to talk to her, but
sweetest girl in the world.
This is some good stuff, man.
Yes, hard to pick.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's this year, obviously this year with COVID and everything, I think everybody was in the same boat, that it was difficult to shoot as much as I had in the past. So unless models came to visit me this year, I didn't really get much of a chance. And I think I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 visitors this year. And you can look at my Instagram, you can kind of tell who that was.
Yeah.
So,
right.
That's basically all I've pretty much posted this year. It was Jara and Katie and
Ainsley
and Anna and Kayla, and then Kenny Lee.
Now, have you ever? And I know most of these girls. Like I said, there's one or two that I don't know, but have you ever had any situations where it's been difficult to work with a model, or you're basically blessed with just great?
I mean, there's certainly there's certainly models that you connect with more than others. And sometimes, it takes a shoot or two to kind of get over those, to get to the really good, get into the really good work. Some we click with right away. I wouldn't say there hasn't been too many really bad experiences. Maybe 1 or 2 over the years, but it's pretty seldom for the most part.
Gotcha. What kind of advice would you give to let me go ahead and close that out. What kind of advice would you give to other photographers starting out? Because obviously you've got a natural talent for your composition and everything, and you're good at different lighting skills. What would be something that you would recommend to a starting person that may not be as naturally gifted?
I think the keys there are, obviously shoot a lot, practice makes perfect. and not to get discouraged, that, because if everything doesn't work, it doesn't turn out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't always work. I mean, and you gotta be willing to know when it's not working and move on. This setup isn't working. I don't like this outfit. This back, this location isn't working. Let's scrub it. We're moving on. The weather conditions suck. Let's try and move inside. Anything like that. You gotta be willing to try something new. And that sort of thing. The more you shoot, better you get. On the retouching side, again, it's practice makes perfect. There's and you got to be willing to invest in yourself. It takes money to make money. You need to invest in yourself. If you want new skills, if you want to learn new skills, sometimes you're going to need to pay for them. Not everybody's going to do everything for free. That Texas photographer, we spent a 2.5 hour session, 2 or 3 hour session, because I was really digging his work. I'm like, this kind of look, I want to learn how to do this. Now, since then, obviously, I put my own spin on it, and that happens with everything. Doesn't matter, who you're going to learn. I mean, I could take a new photographer and teach him exactly what I do and show him exactly what I do, but he's always going to have his interpretation on that.
Right.
He's never going to be able to replicate what I do directly. So it's always going to have a different feel, and he's going to establish his own look, which is ultimately what you want to create your own brand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Do you tend to direct your models, or are they just naturally? And you obviously work with some really great ones. Period.
Yeah.
For the most part, I like to let them go unless they need me to direct. I might tweak something along the way, or see something I really like, and we'll explore it and maybe make some minor tweaks and that sort of thing. But for the most part, I like to let them flow and let them do their thing. I think for them, and Jamie, you can correct me, if you feel differently, but I think the spontaneity of allowing them to just, do what they want to do and let them flow, and capture those moments, yields better photos. And I don't like anything to be too posy either. I think that free form helps with that as well. And just, and like I said, let them go. And if they hit something that I really like, tell them to freeze. Or if they're already like 2 poses down the road, back up. I don't remember what I did. Well, then you show them the back of the camera, and I'm like, go back into this position and let's rework it from there, and let me grab a couple more shots and
right.
Yeah.
That actually brings up a question for me. We were just talking about this the other day. Me and a friend of mine. Do you tend to use like the continuous burst when you're shooting, or do you like to pick your moments?
I'll burst if we're shooting natural light on occasion, especially if the shot has a lot of movement in it, I'll burst. But otherwise, it's pretty pick. I'm usually picking my moments for the most part.
Right, because
obviously, especially with anything that's strobed. I'm shooting with Alien Bees. They don't have that fast a recycle time, so
right.
Kind of got to be selective. But.
Yeah, I know, because I was having a friendly debate that, to me, I think it's not cheating, but when you're using continuous burst, it's really, you're just basically just holding the camera up, and going through, and you obviously have literally dozens of pictures in a short amount of time to be able to pick 1 or 2 of the best ones, as opposed to literally trying to create your shot. That's just my opinion, because that's the way I shoot. But anyway, that's what I was asking. Huh?
What's that?
The noise is back.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you have like a fan next to your mic or anything?
I'm just in a corner. Just in a corner in the room. I'm like trying to figure it out because I heard it come back, and I'm like, you bastards.
Anyways.
Yeah, we'll have to we'll have to try with because we got you some headphones, didn't we?
Yes, but I have to get that adapter. I'm
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
waiting on my whole setup. I need to design the whole corner of my room for this.
Yeah. We're both
Has
gonna
to
have to
all
do
come
that.
together at the same time.
Yeah, we're both gonna have to do that. Now that you finally got your tripods too.
Yes.
Yeah, because everything's on back order nowadays because of this pandemic.
Yeah.
And shipping is behind as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, I was gonna do something fun. Jamie, I forgot to pull it up. She's our resident zodiac expert, so
Oh boy.
you gotta. While I look up this stuff here, go ahead.
Oh boy. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't get any real solid feeling. So I'm gonna be. It's a shot in the dark at this one. Taurus. When's your birthday?
I'm a Leo.
Okay. I would have no idea. It's so much easier with the models because I feel like I can get them to like expose some things. I don't know. It's different with the model. Yeah, I feel like they tell us like personal things. You know what I mean? With photographers, we get to the business stuff, and the models tell me more personal things. So I would have had no clue. No clue. I was just thinking Taurus because you're a hard worker. That's the only thing I was going for.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So now I've known your name for a long time though, right? Like was this like back in like, well, I mean, definitely Model Mayhem. Was it back in One Model Place days too?
I was never on One Model Place. No.
Okay. So Model Mayhem was it.
Model Mayhem days, yep, in the beginning. And then everything. Basically, when did we transition? It was actually a Pittsburgh model that had come to visit me, and she's like, "Dan, you need to get an Instagram." I'm like, and this is what.
Wait, who was it?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
And then, I mean, it was already at the point where I couldn't keep up with Facebook as it was, and I was like, "Oh, now you need to get on Instagram." I'm like, "What do I need to get on Instagram for?" She's like, "Dan, that's where the models are," and I'm like, "Damn it, she's right." And so yeah, off to Instagram I went, and yeah.
I said the same thing. I had after Model Mayhem, I had no social media for years. I had quit everything. I had stopped working with my agency. I decided that part of my life was done. And then I separated from my ex-husband, and I called my agency right back, and I was like, I'm gonna resign. And I got back into everything. And I'm trying to think. I started on Instagram in 2016 and dove back in from there. 2013, I re-signed with my agency, and I finally gave in 2016, like some freaking dinosaur refusing to like stay with the times.
And I finally subscribed to her. I finally subscribed to her OnlyFans. Had to.
It's just videos of me cooking. That's it.
Naked. Yeah.
Wait, so who was the Pittsburgh model? I love to reminisce.
Well, she's married to somebody really famous now, if that helps.
It doesn't. Damn it.
Really?
I don't think. It will when you tell me.
Paige Price.
Oh, yeah. Wait, Malcolm.
Why do I know that name?
Is that her husband?
She's married to Frankie Muniz now.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right. Yes, she is. She's a Pittsburgh OG. We have a couple.
Well, I've been to Pittsburgh one time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Man.
I was in Pittsburgh. When was that? 2016, summer 2016.
Yeah.
I'd actually flown to Cleveland and met up with Wingate, and then he and I came over to Pittsburgh one day and shot with Brian Hanna.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I went back, and then Biff and Rimbold and I had talked about doing something in Pittsburgh a couple of times, but it just never materialized.
They are always here. Well, I mean, Biff lives here, but yeah, Bold is always here.
Mm-hmm.
That's my buddy. How about that? Yeah, Pate. Wow. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Okay. A new tradition I'm starting today with you, Dan.
Oh boy.
basically, it's just 3 questions. I'm going to ask you 3 just totally off photography questions.
Oh boy.
And the
I don't
first
do good. I don't do good with these, but go for it.
You are a new addition to the crayon box. What color would you be and why?
Oh.
I'd have to say blue. Blue's my favorite color by far. Always has been.
We got to come up with a unique name now.
A unique name.
Yeah, because blue. Yeah, but
Sky blue.
there we go. Sky blue. The
This
next
is
question.
interesting.
You're driving in your car. What song are you jamming to?
Oh boy. I was probably like Rage Against the Machine, Maggie's Farm, or something along that lines would be most likely what's planned.
All right, so we're a rocker here.
I wanted it to be Wheatus just because of the I wanted it to be Wheatus Teenage Dirtbag because of the I Rock Z that is mentioned in the song. It's immediately what I thought of. I started singing Wheatus in my head whenever you talked about your I Rock.
All right, and this one you got to be honest,
Oh God.
Oh.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad, I promise. What's the last thing you watched on TV and why did you choose to watch it?
The last thing I watched season 3, episode 5 of Yellowstone.
Stop it. Okay. Go ahead.
Yep. One of my good friends was home for over the holidays, and he and I grabbed a beer on Wednesday evening, and he was like, the next show I'm getting into is Yellowstone, and I'm like, what the hell is Yellowstone? And he's like, dude, gotta watch Yellowstone, and I'm like, all right. And so the next morning I watched episode 1, and
that was it.
5 days later, and I'm in the middle of season 3.
So I just turned that off before I came on here.
Oh.
I'm hooked.
That's funny.
I don't hook on TV.
Now I gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's like the cowboy version of Sons of Anarchy.
It's amazing.
What network's it on?
It's on the Paramount Network.
Yeah.
You can stream it on.
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
I will.
My dad told me about it, and I was like, oh, okay, because it was my dad.
It's
so good.
It's set in Montana, but they actually filmed it in Utah. But it's just stunning visuals, and it's got one of the highest per episode budgets of any TV show on television, from what I'm understanding.
And it shows.
It shows. Yeah, I mean everything's
amazing.
Everything's on location in Utah outside.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
I'll have to try it. Ever since Game of Thrones ended, I haven't been able to get into anything else.
I know.
Yet. Yeah,
we were all scarred by that.
Yeah, it takes the right show for me to hook me, and this one got me on the first episode.
Yep.
All right, now I got to try it. Well, thank you so much, Dan.
Yeah.
Again, for those of y'all that are watching, his link to his Instagram is on our caption. Feel free to, we certainly encourage y'all to follow him. Again, also, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you guys onto our future shows. Dan, hopefully we'll get you back on. We have some fun stuff every now and then.
Anytime. I'm always here, especially in the evenings. There's not much else to do in North Dakota. So
I wasn't going to say it. All right. Well, thank you so much. And thanks to Jamie. Merry Christmas to everybody again.
Yes.
And hopefully everybody has a great new year. Let's hope 2021's way better.
It's going to be.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.